Welcome back, everyone, and especially welcome all the new subscribers we just got over the past few days. So I thought I would do this drone video with a voiceover. Well, actually, it's not really a voiceover. I'm doing it live. Let me stop that there. I'm going to do it live, so you have to bear with me. I'm going to talk over while the video is going. I'll start and stop it and use some clicks to try to point out some things for you, but I thought it'd be a good time to get everyone up to speed who hasn't seen all the videos, so they might not have an idea if they just come in, in the middle or don't watch, go backwards and watch. That this would be a good time to point some things out, and then it'll give them a better idea of what they're watching, and then I guess if they have time and they want to, they can go back and watch the other videos, and then they'll have an idea. This is the north side of the lake, just to give you an idea of orientation. And this here is Goose Island, Goose Mountain, which is what I had just done. Let me start this again. There we go. So that'll give you an idea. So it was a pretty good size island. We called it Goose Island just because there were always geese on it all the time. So I kind of nicknamed it that. I try to give everything a nickname, so when I talk about something, we all know where it's going. You can get an idea of how much I cut back over here. And part of the reason of taking it back is so that the water will be a little bit deeper there, and I don't have to worry about any grass growing up through it. And I guess I should probably go back a little bit farther and start from the beginning. We purchased this property in 2017, and it was supposed to be reclaimed by the former owner. It used to be a sand pit. It was his father's, and then he ran it since the 90s, and he pretty much just took out as much dirt as he could out of there, sand, and he never did do the reclamation part of it. He reneged on the deal, and that's a whole nother story. But so I'm left to do it, and I want to get it back into an oval, as close to an oval, as much lake as possible. And I've got to build up this road. I call this Gumbo Alley. You'll see when you watch some of the other videos. Call this Gumbo Alley, and it was mainly because there was a big pile of gumbo that I spread with the dozer that I used to have last year. And if you know what gumbo is a very squishy, gummy material that isn't very good for anything. It's good when it's dry, but when it gets wet, it's mucky. It's hard to drive over. You get stuck. It's slippery. But this whole side right here, what I call Gumbo Alley, is going to be filled up about 6 feet. I have to build a road all around the entire lake. Well, not entire, but from about here all the way around. So this area here is going to be built up, and that's what a lot of all this excavation was for as well. So let me start this again so we can go around. I call this Gwyn Way. It's just a neighbor that has a horse farm next door. His name is Gwyn, so I call that Gwyn Way. This is the area here. I don't have to do anything to. There's nothing that needs to be done there. Let me stop it here so it'd be good. So if you go back and do watch the videos, you'll see this is the area that I started. This is the area that Chris from Let's Dig 18 was digging, was right here. That's and so we've started here and moved down this way. So when you watch the videos, you'll see. This is the area. This is the west side. This is the area where the dam failed. The former owner took out so much dirt that when we had a couple of hurricanes, it broke through. He lost some equipment. If you go back and watch the flood video, that's way in the beginning of the videos that I put up, you can see his excavator. It's not my excavator, so when you see it, it was his excavator. It's underwater over here. When we get down there, I'll show you again. But so I was stuck having to fix it myself. But he took so much dirt out that that's what the reason for the dam failure was. There's a creek down there. And as you can see, it was very narrow in the middle, so I'm going to get it so that it is oval all the way around. So all this needs to be built up basically to the height of that. It's about 6 feet. So all this down here has to be built up, and that's what I'm digging up the material for. So we're going to get a little bit closer down here. So basically, this is the dam. This will be the dam. So this has to be built up, probably be about, well, I've already done some of it, but it's about 60 feet wide, and I'm making it higher. Let me stop this here so you can see. I'm making my side higher so that if the creek, which is right here, fills up, it will go over into this field over here and not break through here. And also, let's see, while we're down here, this is the area when if you watch the video where I dropped the water level. Basically what I was doing was just allowing, we have a very good inflow of water coming in, and and hence we have an outflow. So I left this, since the dam was broken open, rather than have to pump it, siphon it, whatever, I decided to just increase the flow a little bit. I dug this channel about 4 feet deep, and as wide, 4 feet wide as well. And I put these pipes in here. I was going to fill it in, so I could drive over it, and I decided against it because it's just a better outflow without it there, and I can go around the other way. I just assume. So I kind of put those in for nothing. They'll come out eventually. And let's see what else while we're down this end. And all this concrete, this broken up concrete, there's another video of me moving some of it, is all going to be placed on the back side of the dam here as a deflection, so when the creek flows, it doesn't wear away. Gives it a little bit of protection. So that'll be placed over there. Let's move down farther here. Yeah, you'll get a better view of where all the concrete was too, there. And let's see, as we get closer to the corner. So this would be the south side here. Right there. Oh, let me back up. Well, I can't back up, but as you just saw, those two floats that were right here, I guess I could back up. These floats that are right here, there's a video on me taking them out. They were, let's see, let's start it again. They were in the creek over in this corner, right over here. So that's where those floats were taken out of. And also, you'll see a couple of videos on me making a diversion trail, and this is the end of the diversion trail, but it's here. So basically what I did was I made, rather than have to build all this, you can kind of get a good view of where this would have to be built up to in order. So this is, this is down, and this is about 6 feet up. So instead of having to fill in all this dirt right here, made a trail through the woods, and it will come around, and then the dam will continue this way. Really, I only need to have a dam on this side where the creek is, because everywhere else there's nothing else behind it. And I never had a problem with any leakage of this before. It was the reason the dam failed again was the fact that it was just so much material taken away from it. So that'll give, and I still have some brush piles left over from some trees I took down, which still need to go all along this way here. Again, those are those floats we used for the fishing video when my father-in-law was here, Memorial Day weekend. And this right here, this was a very steep cliff. This was about 16 feet, that if anybody came over, this was like a sheer cliff. So I sculpted this, I sloped this a little bit as best I could with the excavator while I was down here. But what I'm thinking I'm going to be able to do now, I think I'm going to have enough material, because I eliminated needing to build up the road on that side, that I'm just going to come down and cast this up this way and slope this bank nicely without really having to dig up too much material on that side. So you can see this is how much I've taken out pretty much all the way down here. The drag line, if you go back and watch the 2 drag line videos, the drag line was right here. So give you an idea of where that was. And again, there's a couple of videos back on the drag line, one before it was destroyed and once, unfortunately, while it was being destroyed. Let's go again. And that just gives another shot of, you could see how far out I took here and how much beach sand there was. And that's why I decided to turn it into Goose Mountain, because they need a place to nest and all that. And this will show you how clean the water is, because we do have a good inflow. It doesn't get stagnant. There's never any lily pads or anything like that. Like I said, I've been here for over 4 years. We own this property for, since 2017, but we had bought our other property in 2015. So I've seen it go through all its phases, and the water's always been clean. So what I'm going to do when I continue, let me stop that there. I'm going to remove all this. So this will be an island. I want to make it, because we have a fox family every year that comes back to have their kits, and I want to make sure they can't get over to them, because they like to eat the goose eggs. Even though we do have a lot of geese here, we do like to watch the interaction between the both species and not have them one be annihilated without the other one. So I try to make it so that it'll be conducive for both of them. But there's another shot, just show you how far out I cleared. This area here I won't be able to get. It's pretty squishy. All this too as well. It's very squishy. And again, this all has to be built up. It won't be way out to here, probably just about to here and then slope. But this all has to be 6 feet. So once I remove all this and use it for the road, I can dig it up probably 2 more times, maybe 3 more times. These were a couple of piles I had pushed up with the dozer last year. But we'll just bring the truck down here and drive right out. Some more brush piles I still need to burn. And if anybody wants to know, that is a 2001 Cabelco SK250LC. It's got 32-inch pads and a 42-inch bucket, and it's got a Pemberton thumb. It's got about 10,000 hours on it, but I think it was maintained pretty well. It runs good, doesn't really burn any oil, always starts up. Got a few leaks here and there, hydraulic, leaks, like a couple of these cylinders are starting to go. They'll probably have to be resealed soon, but it doesn't really leak too much, just a little bit. So I'm going to do a video one day on all the equipment, just specifically up and close, but in case anybody was interested, that's what that is. But you can see here how much so this road basically has to be built up to there. And the water level will come up about 10 feet higher than it is right now. And right here, if you watch the first Goose Island video, you'll see at the end I say, oh, I've got to come back at the end of the day and take this corner out. Well, as you can see, I didn't do that yet. So actually, I think tomorrow's video is going to be taking out that and building up the road a little bit with some of the material while it was dry. So give you a little sneak peek, I guess, of tomorrow's. And the other thing that I'm going to put up too at the end, of just my grandson was here, as I had said, and he was climbing around on Goose Mountain, so he liked it. And so I'm just going to put a quick video of him. It'll give you a little bit of a scale of how tall that actually is. It's about 20 feet, I guess, total. I think at the end there'll be about probably 6 or 8 feet of it sticking out of the water. So I think they'll like that. And we also did a bonfire this past weekend, which I tried to go live. Let me stop it right here. I tried to do a Facebook Live. Not Facebook, YouTube Live, but soon found out that you need to have 1,000 subscribers, so we still have about 400 or 300 and something to go before we could do it. But it was a pretty good, impressive fire, and you would have got a little sneak peek of what I've already done. I think I mentioned in some comments or in other videos that I'm about 2 weeks ahead of what you see. I'm catching up slowly, but you know, the editing process is, I'm no expert, as you can tell, at doing the editing, so it takes a little bit of time, but we'll get caught up soon enough. But what I did was I took this pile here, because I took all these trees down, so that from where the house that we're in right now, which will be my son's house, I took all these trees down and put them here and let them dry up, and I threw them over the bank here, and we had a big bonfire. So I'll put up a video of that, because it was a pretty nice night, full moon and all that. So I will put up a video of that, but I was trying to do that one live. And just to show you, in October, I'm going to be building the house for my wife and I is going to go right about here. I just want to wait. I really wanted to get the lake finished. Hopefully I'll have it all done by October. Either way, I'm going to start the house, so there'll be videos of that, me building that. And for anybody who doesn't know, that's what I do. That's what I've done my whole life. I was a builder, had my own company since I was 17, and that's all I've pretty much ever done. So I will be starting the house, and that will be right there in October. So that gives you, oh, and let me, one more thing. And if you go back, and just to let anybody know that goes back now to watch, there's a video of burying concrete and making a ramp. It's basically this ramp right here, and the concrete was buried there. But those, you know, at your leisure, go back and watch them if you want. And well, I guess, I hope that helps. Any other questions, let me know, but I think that that should be helpful to everybody. So hope you enjoyed it, give you a better view, and we'll have other drone videos in the future.
Is that it, Ethan? What? Is that it? Is that it? Yeah. Look at me, Ethan. If you walk in front of that big pile, there's like a dirt way you could walk out further on. You see it? It goes out. It goes further out. Look right there. Up towards that field. That the geese, when they're lazy, instead of flying, because they go eat in that field over there, they go up and down the hill.
He might squish in there. I can't believe he didn't.
Now you have to swim. Swim.
That is all sand. Like beach sand. That'll be harder to climb
Is that
up.
what he wanted to do? Go to the big mountain? Is that why he went around there?
That's what he said. He was going to go climb the big mountain.
You got to do the Rocky pose up there.
Why don't you slide down the hill now?
Maybe Grandpa will pick you up in this thing.
You want Grandpa to drive around and get you?
What's this thing called?
Tractor. Technical term.
He's dancing.
It's a Kubota M5660 SU.